is for sternocleidomastoid, SCM. So locating sternocleidomastoid is simple. It's one of the big prominent muscles on the anterior portion of the cervical spine. Different people, their SCMs are shaped a little bit differently. Some people, it goes from the mastoid all the way straight down into the sternum. So sternocleidomastoid, SCM. Some people, it goes on a V shape. So you need to be conscientious on which direction the SCM is running. I would give it a dry run at first, which means just kind of rotate and palpate to figure out where the SCM is. Another little hint or a tip is that when you're actually looking for the SCM, if you rotate it ipsilateral or the same side that you're going to treat, it actually gets nice and soft and you can get a bigger grip on it. If you rotate it away and elevate the head, it becomes elongated and it becomes tighter. So you might have to manipulate your client depending on whether or not they have a long neck or a short neck or a lot of muscle to their neck, and it's kind of difficult to get to. So you have to be able to maneuver. A rolling chair becomes very helpful, or I'm working on an exercise ball right now. Whatever you need to do what you need to do for that. But dealing with the SCM becomes extremely hypertonic through forward head posture, military neck, where they're standing very, very straight in that attention all the time, so that they don't get any rotation and the SCMs are under a constant strain. Again, the cervical acceleration, deceleration, aka whiplash, those are conditions that we want to deal with. Also on a sidebar, you would deal with this SCM muscle if they had different conditions, trigger point referrals for migraines. They also cause headaches and blackouts. Sinus cavity treatment. Doing SCMs takes pressure off of the face and it allows for the sinus cavity to drain a little bit better. And of course, temporal headaches that could relate itself to tinnitus. Tinnitus is the technical term for ringing in the ears. And so that's usually, there's a lot of causes for it. But in this condition, you'd be using the SCM routine for pressure around the eustachian tube, release the pressure off the eustachian tube, and sometimes the ringing tends to subside. All right, so it's a very straightforward routine, same landmarks as you've had all along. You're going to look out for the carotid artery. You're going to look out for extreme head rotation. You're going to look out for the styloid process right underneath the ear, because that's the entire region that you're working. And just in case, make sure you look out for the lateral aspects of the transverse processes in case you go off guard. All right, styloid is that kid that's always, again, at eagle talon syndrome. And this is a very easy routine to do. And again, all you're going to do is have your shoulder and your elbow low. Rotate the head ipsilaterally, or same side rotation. And you're going to M&C, manipulate and compress. So you're going to get a gentle pinch. Some people like to coin roll. In this case, I just want to manipulate and compress. Make a couple of passes as you're doing that. Okay? And then make sure that you friction all of the attachments. So you're going to friction, let's do them in order so that you can remember, right? The sternum, friction on the sternum. Find its attachment. Remember, again, you need to trace it. The clavicle, friction on the clavicular attachment. Trace the SCM all the way back up to the mastoid process, and friction on the mastoid process itself. You're already on the mastoid. The next step, glide right off the mastoid. So place your thumb pad right on that flat portion of the mastoid process and glide right off of it, like the first inch to 2 inches. Okay, glide right off of there. And then go behind that bump of the mastoid. Rotate again, same side towards you. Be conscious not to stab up with your thumb or whatever finger that you're using. And just simply glide right off of that mastoid right behind it. And that's SCM. It's very simple. Sternocleidomastoid, friction same side, manipulate and compress, friction the attachments, glide off 2 inches off the mastoid, and then friction and glide behind the mastoid process. And that is SCM.